In this episode of the vlog, we're going to Portland. We're going to go meet one of the biggest business influencers in the world.
He's one of the top strategic life coaches. He's rated the #1 speaker in the world. He's got one of the top podcasts in the world. I had been following him for 5 or 6 years, and then I had the opportunity to work with him one-on-one privately, and he absolutely saw where my opportunity was, my comfort zone, kicked me way outside of it, and I executed.
Changed everything.
Changed everything.
April 2023, before this whole Martell Media thing, you and I fly to Ed's house, and he does essentially a business breakdown, personal brand breakdown.
Yep.
And he shows you everything you need to know about personal brand.
The whole blueprint.
How important was that meeting, that one day, for everything that we did after with the media company?
Again, I'm not the brightest, but I will execute. And when he unpacked the opportunity that he saw, he audited all my content, and he showed me what was possible. And it was a week later or something, I gave you a call and I said, I'm going all in. Mm-hmm. I'm redesigning my whole life. I'm not going to mess around anymore. And I'm willing to allocate my calendar and my bank account, like real budgets, unlimited budget, honestly, to go create something.
So 18 months later after that meeting, we fly to Ed's private island in Portland, Maine.
Where are we at?
This is quite special. I used to come here as a kid, but we're here because we're going on one of the top podcasts in the world. Ed Mylett, his podcast. He's not only my coach, friend, mentor, but he owns an island. And I believe I'm one of the first few people. I'm definitely, I think, the first person to ever do the podcast at this place.
Kind of full circle moment, man. Going from growing up in this part of the world to moving out west to meeting Ed to all of the media stuff, that's all conversations I had with Ed. That was crazy. How's it going? I'm Dan.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick, what's up?
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, most interesting podcast location ever.
We go in this huge renovated
It's like a clubhouse.
bar.
Yeah,
clubhouse.
I think he calls it the bar, or the clubhouse. This is his own primary residence. I mean, crazy. Because this is like, I started working with him before my book came out. Like, it was...
Yeah, take us back.
I met him because I supported his book, and I ended up at an event, with 300 people in a room. And at the end of that event, there was a dinner at his house. When I met him, I introduced myself, and he says, "Oh, I know who you are." And my buddy Pete had known that he was gonna potentially take on a few private clients. I told Pete, put my name in the hat, like, I'm down.
So we go into that room and we record that pod. Well, how'd you feel being on Ed Mylett's podcast, essentially your mentor for 18 months, and then finally getting the chance to share how impactful his work was on your life with his audience?
The coolest part about all that, and I'm glad it happened in this order, is that because I worked with him and got to know him so well, I could relax. Had that happened before we ever worked together, it would have been a completely different story.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm so excited today because this is the first interview I've actually done in this location physically that you see on Zoom all of the time. But the real reason that I'm excited is the man that I get a chance to have the conversation with. He's somebody that I believe in a great deal. I've been honored to have a chance to coach him behind the scenes the last few years, and I don't take that lightly, the responsibility of coaching somebody. And the reason this interview is going to be incredible today is because this man's content and his knowledge level about so many different topics. Proud that he's here today. Dan Martell, welcome, brother.
Thank you, Ed. It's an honor. This is a beautiful place. You've built literally heaven on earth. This is so cool.
Thank you, man. Appreciate this. How important is it, do you think, that someone find a mentor, whether they actually hire them or they follow them or whatever it is? And then inside of that, particularly take a look at social media, even though I'm not posting on there right now. There's so many people to pick from. Do you recommend someone pick one or two mentors and kind of follow them? What would your recommendation be to somebody who, should they get a coach? Should they pay for a mentor? If they can't, how would you recommend they delineate and distinguish between who they listen to via the digital space?
There are people that just don't have the means right now. Mm-hmm. And I would say they're really lucky that they're born and live in this era. Because Ed, when I grew up, there wasn't an ability for me to pull out this machine that was on me all the time where I could curate a feed of people that are legit business folks teaching. Like that wasn't a thing. The best I had was a book that I still had to buy, right? Maybe I had a library card. And I just think most people are using social media the wrong way. Period, full stop. They're using it the wrong way. Like I don't follow my high school friends. My rule is if I would see you in a mall today and I would pretend like I don't know you, we're not friends. Like it makes no sense that I'm gonna like have this pretend a friendship with somebody I haven't seen in 17 years. So I use my feed to self-educate, to get mentorship, to be coached virtually from people that I admire, that inspire me, and that costs nothing. Costs you a follow or an unfollow, get the bad stuff out of your feed. That being said, until you pay, most people will not pay attention. And I believe this. I remember when I, wired the money over to work with you, I knew the transformation happened at the transaction. And the reason why is because when we invest in ourselves, we tell ourselves a story. I'm worth it. Even though I was scared. I wasn't sure what you were going to tell me to do. I was just like, oh my gosh. But it told me that I'm worth it. And I remember my first coach, I was 23. His name was Bob. And I had $3,000 in my bank account at the time. Bob was $1,500 a month. I signed a 1-year contract. I figured if Bob's good, he's going to help me figure it out because I'm not going to be able to pay him for the third month. And Bob just gave me the blueprint like a good coach does. That first year we did almost $1 million in revenue.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the way it works if you can do it. And it's not even just the information, because if it was information, every PhD professor would be rich. It's about the energy, it's about the belief, it's about the confidence. I mean, several things that you've shared with me were life-changing, but one of the things that I value the most was your belief in me. Yeah. Thank you for never quitting. Because I want to acknowledge you, because you've had such an impact on my life, and at any point you could have had somebody by your will to win.
Thank you.
And you didn't.
Neither of you, brother. That's why
I appreciate that. It's a
excited
real
about
honor.
our friendship.
Thanks so much, Ed.
There are people today, which there will be a lot, that are being exposed to you for the first time. They're like, whoa, now I know why I introduced this guy this way. I'm very proud of you. I want to tell you that first. I do believe in you. And I really believe that this is still the beginning, yet you're already so immensely successful. You're wanting to pay it forward because you truly are grateful for the people that have helped you. And you truly want to be that person in so many other people's lives. And I believe you're doing this for the right reasons. You need more exposure, which is why you're here today. And which is why I hope that more people follow you. I hope people buy back your time. They follow you on social media. So I want to make sure everybody hears that. I'm a big fan of this dude. What a great conversation. There's one for the ages here. I'm grateful that you were here today, Dan. I'm grateful for all of you for listening or watching. God bless you. Max out.
It was so perfect timing that if it would have happened 3 years prior, I would have missed the opportunity. We wouldn't have got what we needed that day had I not had those experiences prior that queued everything up perfectly.
What I think it could be one of the most important podcast interviews I've ever done. I'm just grateful that he decided to not just do what he does and not help other people. Imagine if Ed just decided I'm not going to help people, and then I never get a chance to work with him and he doesn't show me what's possible. Think of the ripple effect. It's kind of bananas. That's what Ed does all the time. All he does is believe in people. I mean, that's his most powerful gift.